there's one politician who is questioning the way all of this has happened. The former Water Resources Minister Uma Bharti is in Joshimath. I had spoken to her earlier this evening. Uma ji, welcome to the show. You had taken up Joshimath now in a big way. आपने जोशीमठ का issue बड़े पैमाने पे लिया है. And many of the problems Joshimath is facing today, you have said you had warned the center and the state government in advance when you were Water Resource Minister. Don't go ahead with major power projects. They will damage the eco-sensitive Himalayan zone. Can you tell us more? Had you warned the center and the state government in 2017, 2019 about what could happen in Joshimath?
First thing is that my heart belongs to Joshimath, because Joshimath has its own glory. Adi Shankar spent 5 years here and he wrote Bhashya, and he is the one who did the Punaristapana of Vedic Dharma, because it was almost finished. So that was the time, and he played very prominent role around 1500 years back, and because of that Joshimath is more important than any of the place right now in this country. And about this warning, I never thought I need to warn the government, because I was the part of the government. So my affidavit was not a warning. My affidavit was an affidavit filed in the Supreme Court speaking against this NTPC project and calling it irreversible loss with the opinion of the experts. In that 7 IIT consortium involved, many experts' opinion was involved. So I will not say it was a warning to the government, because I was the government myself. It was not a warning. It was an affidavit saying this, stated this.
No, but the fact is,
this project should not take place.
No, the fact is you put an affidavit in the Supreme Court questioning these power projects, but the power project, the NTPC power project, which many believe could lead, the tunnel could lead to the cracks we are seeing in Joshimath, still went ahead. Now your affidavit is 2017. You have also said earlier that there was a meeting in the PMO in February 2019. I read that in a report this morning. Despite all of this, the project went ahead, and now some are saying these are the consequences. Do you believe this is a man-made disaster, Uma Bharti? The policy makers, people on the ground, both in Uttarakhand and in Delhi, have to answer for what is happening in Joshimath. Could this have been avoided?
Right now, the kind of attention media has brought to this issue from all over the world and from the country, both the governments are also very much aware. Right now, the present Chief Minister of Uttarakhand is very sensitive to these kind of issues, and the Prime Minister himself is an expert in facing the disaster and any challenge. Gujarat is the example. You remember the earthquake of Kutch and Bhuj when he became the Chief Minister. So they will be able to face the present problem. But the seriousness of the issue threatening the ecology of the rivers, of the country, of the Himalaya and of the other places, that is a very serious issue, and the affidavit was actually indicating that. And even many prominent officers in PMO has warned about it. But see, this is really, I am telling you, this is a matter of discovery. Why it happens? I think it is some policy makers who are sitting in Delhi, and they have created a word which is called low-hanging fruit. Means any project which can take up easily, because all the permissions are given to that project. And this lust of eating the low-hanging fruit, they are eating this whole Uttarakhand, the rivers and the Himalaya alive. I think they are eating it alive.
You know, very interesting. You are saying these are low-hanging fruit which were being used by the governments in a way to push through projects. But when you have put on affidavit, you were a minister then. When you voiced your concerns, put it in an affidavit that this could lead to environmental consequences, I ask you again, why did the government not react earlier, both in Uttarakhand and Delhi? Why did we have to wait for this crisis to suddenly realize that the Himalayas are eco-sensitive?
At present, we should wait for the report, because the expert has been sent. The expert have come from 3 places. I think that's what I have heard today when I came to Joshimath. From PMO, from Environment Ministry and from Water Resources Ministry. Let them give their report. And as you are saying, that I need not to inform anybody, not even the CM and to the PMO, because they are so well informed. They are not living in caves that they don't know what is happening around. But even then, why it happens? It is in Hindi called Yaksha Prashna. So I will request you all to continue with this debate. Because I'm telling you, the solution, the present solution of the current problem will be solved. It will be brought and it will be sorted out. But the real situation, the deep serious questions which is being raised many times and being raised again, please continue with it. Maybe you will be able to, all media will be able to sort it out.
No, but I want to get this clear. Are you against all power projects? Do you believe all of them should be stopped? Do you believe there will be those who will see, because there will be those who say Uttarakhand needs these hydropower projects. Are you against all these power projects coming up?
I'm not against any project. I'm against damage of the ecology. If there is any threat and damage to the environment, to the ecology, to the civilization, because Himalaya is a very new mountain, the rocks are very new, it is only few lakhs years old. So very much danger is there, and there's so much of biodiversity, different kind of vegetation which gets totally destroyed, and many kind of animals, they get very disturbed. So you must take care of all these things, or you can see there, you can create a small project. I suggested, why don't you create a small project without disturbing anything in the run of the river? But the problem is in that they will get the employment for the state, but the power mafia will not get any profit, and they will not be able to give any fund to the politicians.
The power mafia will not get any profit and they will not be able to fund the politicians. Are you saying therefore that these projects are coming up because of a power mafia politician nexus? Are you telling me that there were people who paid off the politicians to go ahead with these projects, because you are using the word power mafia in several of your statements?
I will not use the power mafia word only for power mafia. There is a khanan mafia also, mining mafia, and there is a liquor mafia. And they are eating this country alive, because they call it low-hanging fruit, as I have told you. So I will say this, I will repeat this, and I will never say that I did not say it.
You are making a major point. A former minister is telling me that there is a power mafia that is paying off politicians for these projects. Are you saying therefore there is corruption involved in many of these projects, particularly construction, not just power, but the construction that is taking place in and around the Himalayas, which many believe is in complete violation of the environment? Are you saying that this is corruption at the local level? There have been Congress and BJP governments in Uttarakhand and a BJP government in the center that has much to answer for.
Corruption has got an universal fraternity. It goes beyond political parties, it goes beyond caste, creed and religion. They are really secular in every meaning of it. And you think you are very innocent. Do I have to tell you this? Do I have to tell the media? Do I have to tell anybody? I can say that Modi ji is a very clean guy. I can say right now at present Pushkar Dhami is the cleanest of the chief ministers in the country. But I cannot say about, I cannot give a policy statement. I cannot give a general statement about it. But I know people are not innocent. You are not innocent.
You know, you're saying...
They know what the reality is.
No, what is the... You tell us what the reality is, because the fact is, Bharti, you were removed from the Water Resources Ministry. You are also handling Namami Gange project, and many believe it's because you were raising troubling questions over some of these big projects that were taking place along the Ganga in the Himalayan area. Was this one of the factors responsible for you losing your ministry at the time? Can you clarify on that or not?
Nobody can answer this question except the Prime Minister. Whenever you get a chance, anybody can ask him. I will not answer this question. I will leave it unanswered.
You are telling me that this is a question I must put to the Prime Minister of the country, why you were removed from your ministry. But as I said, you were the one who had raised these troubling questions over environmental damage that could be done because of these power projects. Bharti ji, you've joined me on the program and you spoke rather candidly about the power mafia and more. Thank you very much for joining us. That was Bharti, with whom we had recorded earlier. She is at the moment in Joshimath.